Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brown bag lunch. I've already eaten mine, but I had really good pulled pork in a tortilla. It was very, very good. And I was going to say that I wanted to have Giovanna's rosé to taste with you today, but I'm out. I bought 12 bottles, not just 6, and they're all gone. So I'm drinking a white today. So thank you for joining us, gentlemen. I think it is going to be a small group. We find as the summer gets farther and farther that fewer people join us. They're all out on their balconies, but you can always join from your balcony as well. So we should put that in the marketing, David. There. So joining us is David Markovich. We're 2 minutes after, so I guess we might as well start and hope that others will join us. Thanks, Paul, and thanks, David, and thanks, William, for joining us. We really appreciate it, and it's certainly going to be worth your while. Giovanna Tantini, grazie mille. Thank you so much for joining us. It's evening for Giovanna where she is, and and Carolyn has come back. Thank you, Carolyn. And I was lucky enough to visit Giovanna last year when we were doing Vin Italy. Greg and I were able to go to her home and taste some of her wines. You have a tasting room right in your home, don't you, Giovanna? And we certainly appreciated that. And then literally you step out the door and you're into the vineyard, and I'm going to have Giovanna talk about that. So and we do have a new wine, Ettore. Did I say it right? Ettore. That's a new wine that Giovanna is going to talk about. But we thought we would start with just very right back at the beginning about what your vineyards are like, Giovanna, and the terroir and the climate. Why don't we talk a little bit about that, about just in general about where you are?
Okay, good evening, because in Italy is evening, in your country is afternoon in this moment. Okay, nice to meet you. I'm Giovanna Tantini. I was owner of my company too, Giovanna Tantini. I live in Castelnuovo del Garda, is the northeast Italy, close to Lake Garda. I decided 20 years ago to change my life. I was lawyer. My father was lawyer. We are the family lawyer. I decided to change my direction of the life. My company started 20 years ago when my father decided to send me the vineyard and the cellar too. My cellar, I bought myself in 2002, and I started the first harvesting in 2002. For me, it's I craft. For me, it's a very important the work in the vineyard, because when I started, I studied marketing management to work in the vineyard and enology. But I decided to choose 2 enology from Tuscany and 1 agronomist from Piemonte. And I decided to work with the typical denomination in my area. Bardolino is the red wine, rosé wine, Chiaretto, and Ettore is IGT. It's the blend with the Cabernet, Merlot, and the Corvina. But it's very important, do you understand, that the most important work to make the typical wine is with a strong identity is done in the vineyard. Michael, when he come in, we go in the vineyard because the grapes, for the good wine, for me, it's very important to make a good grapes for the quality. We work only by hand. We selected the grapes during the harvesting only by hand in the try. It's very important, the work before the harvest in the vineyard. We clean the leaves. For example, in this moment, the climate is very hot. It's important the jump, the grapes stay protect. There are the big protection of with the leaves. The soil typical, we are close to Lake Garda, we are morainic soil, glacial soil. It's a very important have a big protection of the sun because the soil is glacial. When the sun is very hot, it's dangerous for the grapes, for example. I want to speak with my wine. The grapes, the first grapes, the queen grapes in my farm is Corvina grapes. Corvina is I use these grapes in only my red wine and the rosé too. But is fantastic grapes for me because it's interesting when you try. There are in the nose there are this strawberry. And when you try in the mouth, is very long in the mouth. Is a good acidity for the rosé wine, for example. But for Ettore, is this Ettore? That is my wine. I dedicated this wine of my son Ettore. Now he's 18 years old. In this 2003, I decided to open a big bottle, 5 liter, because I started with this wine in 2003. 20 years old, this bottle. It's a very super wine. It's a very interesting when I opened this bottle in February, 8th February, for the birthday of my son. In the label, is very interesting because there are very big personality because I dedicate this label of Ettore. There are my heart, the heart of my Ettore when of the birds, okay? Hard at the moment of the birds is in the label. And this wine, it's a big selection of the grapes, Corvina grapes. I put in the tray for 4 kilo. Sorry, you understand my English because it's not.
Yes, it's very well, very well. I haven't had to interrupt because we're understanding you very well.
And I put in the trays for 4 kilo. I selected Corvina grapes because in Ettore there are 80% Corvina, 10% Cabernet Sauvignon, and 10% Merlot. Merlot is fresh, Corvina dry in the tray, and Cabernet too dry in the tray. But the drying is a very short period of 20 days. It's important for me because I like when you drink my wine is in the mouth is fresh, no big body. Is body, but fresh in the mouth. Okay, is a good when you drink for the grillade, mid or.
And when you had that 20-year-old wine, but it was in a 5 liter, so it ages slower, right? When it's in a bigger bottle. So, and did you find there's still lots of freshness on that 20-year-old wine?
Is very interesting too. In 5 liter is very interesting, but I put in this bottle. I open, for example, in this moment I buy 2016. It's a very, very interesting vintage. I'm sure you don't have a problem when you put in our cellar sleep for 2 years or 3 years without a problem. Okay.
Yes, and Louise, our master of wine, she gave it a drinking window of 2023 to 2029. So she thinks that it can it'll hold up in the cellar for another 6 years, but not that I would ever wait that long.
No, for example, Michael, I decided in this moment is a good moment for 2016. I decided when my Ettore is a gooder for to drink, but you don't have a problem when sleep for 5 years, for example, in your cellar. I'm sure for like this.
Right, and can you tell us what was different about 2016 that you chose this, that it's ready now? How will it have transformed? Is it again, you're still fresh? Yes.
is more fresh, but there are the different aromas. Is interesting for to drink with the different food, for example, in this moment 2016 is nice with meat, with faraona, what is the name, game, game is nice.
No, game is right, yes. Yep.
When there are the evolution, for example, for next 5 years, I hope is interesting for meditation wine, or you drink when you are finished to the dinner, you open the bottle with the cigarette, you know.
Yes.
It's a good for a moment, relaxed moment.
Oh, very nice. And I do want to say to the Opimian members, I think most of you will know this, but when it gets the Coup coeur signature, so it's got the purple heart on it, what that means is that it was one of the top 4 wines in the tasting for this particular cellar. And it varies pretty widely, but there's at least 150 wines tasted for any particular cellar, with 75 of them making it in. I'm speaking slowly for Giovanna's benefit. And so that means that this particular Ettore was one of the top 4 wines that were tasted by the MWs when they did the tasting. So it's always a huge honor to you, Giovanna, for your winemaking, that this made a coup coeur.
I'm very passionate when I make my wine. I don't know to understand the question, but I understand for the heart. For the you decided this wine is
that it was one of the top wines.
The
yes.
top wines, yes.
Yes.
For me, it's the top 2, because when I decide to make this wine with my winemaker enology, the Corvina grapes is the first grapes for me, is the heart grapes too. I decided to make with these grapes the first wine in my company. Ettore is the first, because it's my son, okay, and but there are another wines, for example, Bardolino or Rosé is the denomination typical in my area. It's a very important, a good expression of this Corvina. Corvina is my heart too, okay, you understand?
Yes.
This is the motive why, for example, in Corvina is my heart. Why? Because she's very interesting when it's fresh grapes. I pick it for rosé wine. She's very interesting when she drive in the vineyard. I make a new wine. I dedicate of my daughter, for example, Greta. She's very interesting when she drive in the try of 20 kilo or 4 kilo. 4 kilo for Ettore. There are the very different situation with these grapes. I make 100% Corvina with the Magico, for example. Magico, I dedicate of my husband. With this wine, I dedicate my husband Marco. Magico is Marco Giovanna Corvina. And there are 100% Corvina. Okay, and this is one is a very fresh. You put in the refrigerator. It's a red wine.
And you would serve it a little chilled, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Okay. And I think a lot of people on the call will have had your Bardolino rosé. Yes. Yeah. And we're so glad that you were able to continue to put that out. It was the best selling feature wine we ever did. We sold 650 cases of that wine when it was first released, which it's a remarkable rosé. As I say, I bought 12 and they're gone. So I'm going to be replenishing at this time as well. So, and do you want to talk a little bit about the taste of the rosé? Like what are you getting on the palate and on the nose of your rosé?
My rosé is very fresh wine. In the nose there are strawberry, for example, and the mouth, there are the sapidity, is correct the name, sapidità, come si dice sale? Salt.
Oh, salt. Okay. Yes.
Salt from the soil. Okay.
Right.
This wine is nice. For example, you drink with the pizza is fantastic because she is clean a lot the mouth. Is nice with the rice with the meat the pink. Okay.
Oh yes. Okay.
Okay. Or with the fish is super with the fish. In the for the tasting wine, in the nose there are fruit, fresh, very fresh in the nose. This wine, there are Corvina too, 80% Corvina. The typical grapes from my area, Corvina, Rondinella, and the Molinara, is only from Lake Garda, these grapes.
And so you answered Paul's question. Thank you. That what are those three grapes that are in the rosé? So, do you want to talk a little bit about what you were trying to do with that blend? So the Corvina gives it some, not the body, right? So why would you choose Rondinella and Molinara to blend with this Corvina?
Because this is the typical grapes in the blend of Bardolino. When there are the denomination decided to use these grapes, I use, but in my area, I prefer to use 80–90% Corvina. Rondinella is not is good for the body. Not for the nose. You don't understand. When you try rosé wine, you know Corvina tasting.
Right.
Okay. Rondinella is a good for the body, for a good body in the wine. Okay. And Molinara for the soup.
For the saltiness. Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, isn't that nice? Yeah.
Okay. Right. Only grapes have a different characteristic for the wine. It's important for the characteristic of the Chiaretto Rosé Bardolino. When you try, you understand this this characteristic.
And you talked about the Magico as well, but what about then? We've got some time left to talk about the Custoza.
Custoza.
Thank you. Yes.
Custoza. This is Custoza. I put my face in the label because it's when I have my anniversary, 20 years, the anniversary from my company, I decided to put my face for a big responsibility when you try my wine, because you know what is the honor for this company. Okay, yes. It's very important. The grapes are Garganega, Trebbianello, is the similar of Tokai Friulano from, you know, Tokai Friulano, right. Chardonnay. But the big percentages of Garganega. The grapes, we pick it only by hand in the tray of 20 kilo. I put directly in the press for this wine. This wine is very fresh. You drink in the summer, you drink with white meat, with fish, for aperitif. It's a very nice wine because there are a lot fruit when you try in the nose. Fruit.
Right. Yes.
In the mouth, it's very fresh. It's easy because I make this wine only in the tank, aging in the tank.
Yes, not in barrel.
Not in barrel. Ettore, only Ettore aging in the barrel for 24 months.
Okay. And are you French barrique? It said.
Yes.
Are you doing that virgin barrels each
time?
No,
it's one with the one new passage because personality, I don't like a lot testing the barrel in my.
Don't want to get hit over the head with the wood. Yes. You
Yeah.
don't like the wood. Yes, that's
No.
right. No, that's good.
But it's a good for the wine when the wine is a strong body. Is a good the barrique.
Right. If anybody has any questions about the wine, please put them in the chat. But otherwise, Giovanna, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your place. It's so beautiful. And if I recall, you do have B&B apartments there too, right? That you invite guests in. They can rent a room from you. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I have
Yes.
one guest from Opimian. He come in for the picnic in my. He come in Italy. He sent me
Right.
the message for to come in here. I have a small agriturismo B&B with 2 rooms and 1 apartment. Small breakfast. It's possible to stay here to come in for the tour in the vineyard. I organize the picnic with the wine or the tour in the Fender Jeep. It's nice because we go in the vineyard. There are the aperitif in the vineyard. No, it's nice moment for the people like.
And it is a beautiful spot, isn't it? In near Lake Garda, and yeah, it's just so beautiful there. I do plan to come back.
You
so.
come in.
Yes, that's right. No, that's terrific. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Giovanna. We certainly appreciate your talking about these wines. As I say, I'll be reordering the rosé because I enjoyed it so very much, as did my friends. And Ettore, I am going to definitely order that. I really enjoy new wines. I don't think I've had, other than at your place when we were tasting them, but that particular blend seems really remarkable. And to the Opimian members, we have been looking for wines such as these. This is a 2016, so it's already 7 years old. And so Giovanna has done all of the aging for you, and it's been in her cellar, and then it comes over to us, and it's very drinkable now. And I really enjoy older wines, as those of you who see these regularly know about me. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Giovanna. You have a good evening in Italy, and everybody else across Canada, enjoy your day. It's certainly a beautiful day here in Kitchener or Waterloo, and I unfortunately have to work. I don't get to go outside.
Thank you so much. It's a very pleasure to invite. Ciao.
We'll see you. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.